Hey everyone, welcome back to Financial Future. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today, we've got some crucial updates on potential changes in Congress that could significantly impact Social Security benefits. Stick around as we delve into the details, but before we jump in, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to Financial Future yet, consider joining our community for valuable insights on securing your financial future. Alright, diving right into today's lead story, we're tracking various lawmakers in Washington pushing for Social Security reform. This is a critical issue, considering the looming cut in benefits if nothing is done within the next 10 years. One notable player in this is Republican Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, who's working on a bipartisan plan to address the impending crisis. Cassidy emphasizes the need for both former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden to take thoughtful actions to prevent the collapse of Social Security. Now, Cassidy, along with Independent Senator Angus King, is proposing an intriguing plan involving a $1.5 trillion sovereign wealth fund. This fund would be invested in the U.S. stock market, real estate, and other avenues, aiming for an 8% return. The goal is to have this fund act as a supplement, separate from the Social Security trust funds, with the potential to transfer accumulated returns back to Social Security without endangering the trust funds. While the details are still being ironed out, they're exploring options like locking early retirement at 62, protecting lower-wage workers, and seeking avenues to immediately increase benefits. The objective is clear: prevent a collapse, ensure no one receives less, and potentially increase benefits for millions. Moving on to other proposed bills, there are existing plans by lawmakers like Bernie Sanders and John Lawson, each with its own approach to address Social Security challenges. However, the key challenge lies in garnering bipartisan support, as these proposals often involve tax increases, which face resistance from many Republicans. Let's talk about the GOP primary landscape. A recent poll in New Hampshire indicates that Nikki Haley is gaining ground on former President Trump, trailing by just 4 points. While this is an interesting development, it's crucial to note that Trump maintains a significant nationwide lead. The political dynamics continue to evolve, and we'll be closely monitoring the developments. So, when it comes to financial future, many of you are well aware that Social Security benefits might not be cutting it. Whether it's the cost of living adjustments or Senator Sanders' proposal for an extra $200 a month, inflation and recession are swallowing up your income. You shouldn't have to choose between meals and medication. The average monthly Social Security check for retired workers is set to rise by 3.2% starting in January, a boost of about $50 per month.
Mark Miller joins us now. He's a contributor for the New York Times. He covers retirement and aging, and he's also the author of the book Retirement Reboot: Common Sense Financial Strategies for Getting Back on Track. Thanks for joining us, Mark. So talk to us about what kind of retirees are most dependent upon Social Security checks for their savings, and does this cost of living adjustment meet those needs?
Sure. Thanks for inviting me. So we're talking about an adjustment, the COLA adjustment, that'll go to more than 71 million Americans starting in December and January. It goes to retirees, of course, the largest population, but also people who receive disability benefits, and also supplemental security income, or SSI, which is the program for low-income beneficiaries. And one note about the increase of the 3.2% increase, as you noted, it translates to about $50 a month for the average beneficiary. The actual net dollar amount of the increase we'll know sometime soon for people who are on Medicare, who typically have their Medicare premium deducted from Social Security, so there'll be an adjustment to that 3.2%. And, the COLA is calculated to reflect what's going on with just general inflation in the economy. So we had really large increases this year, 8.7 this year, 5.9 the year before. And with inflation cooling off, that is the reason why it's fallen some. And so that's really the essence of what happens here. And, inflation affects different people differently. For seniors, of course, the rising cost of healthcare is a big factor, and housing also, especially renters, because we've seen big increases in rents.
Lawson, he's the executive director of Social Security Works. Thank you for being here to talk about the future of Social Security as well as Medicare. What is your group's take on what should happen with this program?
It's really simple. Social Security works, like our name says. Everybody knows no one gives us anything when it comes to Social Security. We pay for it. We see it coming out of our paychecks. It's our money. So the last thing that anybody wants is some politician reaching their hand in our pocket and stealing our money by cutting our benefits. And that's what is being debated. So we fully reject that. And the idea that there's any sort of crisis. This is not a system in crisis. If we just ask millionaires and billionaires to pay the same rate into Social Security as all of the rest of us do, then we can expand benefits, increase benefits for everyone, and have solvency into the next century. It's the opposite of a crisis. It's actually incredibly safe and a system that works, and millions of Americans know that.
Let's talk about the current state of Social Security. The Retirement Trust Fund can pay 100% of benefits until 2033, a year earlier than reported last year. After 2033, reserves will become depleted, and continuing income can pay up to 77% of benefits. Disability Insurance Trust Fund can pay 100% of benefits until 2097. You said millionaires and billionaires need to pay the same rate. What do you mean?
So right now, there's a cap on what you pay into Social Security. People pay in on the first $160,000 of their wages. After that, people don't pay in at all. So the more money somebody makes, the less they're paying into the Social Security system. And that's an accident of history. There's no reason for it. And right now, that explains the entire problem that we're seeing with Social Security. The problem is, there is a problem with Social Security, is the benefits are too low for millions of people. But in 2033, you actually just math-wise, you have to do the whole system, and it's 80% of benefits after 2033. And so there's a 20% automatic benefit reduction because Social Security can't borrow any money. So if that's the problem, a 20% benefit cut in the future, the solution can't be a 20% benefit cut right now. And that's what Republicans are proposing. That's what a lot of experts in this town will be proposing. But they're not being honest with the American people. All we have to do, we have a decade to get millionaires and billionaires to pay into the system on all of their income, just like the rest of us, and there's no problem. In fact, we can expand benefits, increase them for everyone in this country.
You call it an accident of history that we have this cap. Explain.
It literally is just an accident of history. Like the political sausage making in this town, there's always a back and forth in terms of creating policy. That was true during the New Deal era as well. A lot of things that Francis Perkins and the other New Dealers wanted, like guaranteed health care for everyone in this country that were originally part of the New Deal, were not included. The reason, because even then there was this Republican-Democratic debate, and the Republicans were consistently trying to give less. They wanted to cut things back. And so deals were made. One of the deals, rich people were going to pay less into the system than working people. And that's the only problem that we really have to fix with Social Security.
Your argument is raise this cap on millionaires and billionaires. Earlier this week on the Washington Journal, the Mercatus Center's Charles Blahouse, a former public trustee of Social Security and Medicare trust funds, discussed proposals to raise the cap on earnings. Here's what he had to say.
It only gets you so far. And one of my nagging frustrations as a former trustee is that there's a lot of exaggeration in media commentary, social media commentary about just how much that would do. It doesn't do all that much. Even if you completely exposed if you just eliminated the cap on taxable wages and got rid of it altogether, and exposed all earnings without limit to taxation, you'd only solve about 38% of the program's permanent shortfalls. Now, why is that? That's because, remember, in Social Security, benefits and contributions are linked. You pay more into the system, you earn a bigger benefit. So you wind up collecting a lot more revenue from high-income people to pay more benefits to high-income people. Now, there's a way around that. What you can do is you can say, all right, we're going to ratchet down the benefit accrual rate on the higher income end so that it's not, a big benefit windfall for them. But again, that just gets you back to the starting point, which is that there's really no way to avoid dealing with the growth of the benefit formula on the high income end. With an increase in the tax base, without an increase in the tax base, you're pretty much stuck with having to do that. So it's best to confront that up front and say we're going to have to do a little bit of each, a little bit of on the tax side, a little bit on the eligibility age side, a little bit on the growth of the benefit formula side.
Your response, what you're saying only gets you so far, about 38%.
So, with all due respect to Chuck, the man is a paid liar. Nothing that he said there is actually true, and we have all the paper to show it. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Senator Bernie Sanders released a bill, and in that bill, they removed the cap on what people pay in. They asked millionaires and billionaires to pay in on all of their income, just like the rest of us do. They not only achieve 75-year solvency, they also increase everybody's benefit in this country by $200 a month. It's simple. This man, I'm sorry, I'm pointing at Chuck, he's not being honest with the American people. He's making it seem like the only choice to address the problem of a benefit cut in a decade is to cut benefits now. That's not a solution to the problem. It's just the problem sooner. And then his math is not correct. You can check the CBO's math. You can check the actuary's math on the Sanders-Warren bill and see that it achieves 75-year solvency.
Does it do that by delinking benefits to income?
Yes, it does. What it does is you just adjust the formula, which is what we have right now. The more that you pay in Social Security, the less there is of a return on those dollars at the high end, right? So that's how it is right now. You just continue that. And that is a way of making the benefits very progressive. Right now, the revenue is incredibly regressive, right? The richer you are, the less you pay into Social Security. So now all we have to do, make the revenue progressive, continue with the progressive benefit structure, and again, solvency into the next century, increase benefits for everybody. Everybody wins, except maybe some billionaires. But that's what the debate is about. The billionaires saturate this town with money. They create whole think tanks that hire former trustees to go on television and pretend like there's a crisis. There's not a crisis.
Financial future community. These are critical times for Social Security. The proposals and debates are ongoing, and we're here to keep you informed. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Will an extra $200 a month make a significant impact for you? Stay tuned for more updates. And until next time, signing off for Financial Future. Remember to check out our other videos for in-depth political insights. Catch you in the comments section.